20 years ago, Chicago won 6 Academy Awards including Best Picture. The musical film was based on stage musical from 1975, which was based on a film from 1927, which was based on a play from 1926. Confusing, I know. Set in 1920s Chicago, every version of the story follows a Roxie Hart that murders a man and has her husband pay exorbitant amounts of money for legal defense that turns her into a criminal celebrity and results in her attaining a not guilty verdict. The original play was intended to be a cynical satire on the corrupt criminal justice system and concept of a celebrity criminal at the time, though subsequent versions of it would downplay or emphasize this depending on what the writers were looking for. The 1975 stage musical would make significant changes to the story, including the addition of musical numbers, in order to lean into the satirization of what it sees as an almost farcical criminal justice system. The 2002 musical film would continue this tradition, expanding on it further. When you first watch any version of Chicago, especially the kinder iterations, it can be easy to see it as a story about Roxie Hart, Renee Zellweger in the 2002 film. However, upon extra thought, you're left with the question of why Roxie? As the story of the film goes, Billy Flynn, Richard Gere, has never lost a case for a female client before. The implication is that the vast majority, if not all, of his clients have been guilty and that he did the same tap dance and razzle-dazzle routine for Roxie as any of them. So, the question remains, why Roxie? Why is the film about Roxie and not any of Billy Flynn's other clients, or Billy Flynn himself? The reason is that it isn't about Roxie, nor about Billy Flynn. Chicago is about you, the audience. Think for example of the music in the film. Traditionally in musicals the music is embedded into the world and meant to be a chance for us as the audience to get a deeper peek into the characters. It's meant to be the chance at honesty, to let us in. Look at examples in Les Miserables, West Side Story, or any Disney princess movies. Songs like On My Own or Somewhere are intimate moments for us to understand these characters, to develop a sympathy for the person they see themselves as. This just isn't true of Chicago. First off, the musical numbers are separated from the actual film. They aren't embedded into the world, they're a performance the characters put on for us, they're fourth wall breaking. They each begin with an announcer telling us who's about to perform before they come out on a stage and lie to us. Like Billy Flynn's number All I Care About Is Love, a bold-faced lie in which a charismatic Billy Flynn tries to convince us that he does what he does for love when we really know all he really cares for is money. Every piece of music is performed for us, the audience. We receive the same song and dance that the public in the universe receives, but we also get a peek behind the curtain, letting us in on the fact that we are knowingly consuming and enjoying the lies of crooks. Consider the death scene of Katalin Helinski. Helinski is a Hungarian prisoner. She can't speak any English and as a result, isn't able to turn her life into the kind of spectacle and entertainment the other prisoners can. The result is that, even though she seems to be the only truly innocent prisoner in the film, she's the only one we see get hung. Right before her hanging, the announcer comes out to introduce her disappearing act as he says, "For your pleasure and entertainment." Throughout the film, there's this constant effort to intertwine show business and the criminal justice system, to make them seem essentially the same. Billy Flynn is a ventriloquist and expert tap dancer. A master of razzle-dazzle who can forge evidence, twist words and hide it all behind an expert performance and performative speech. It's never clearer than when the warden mama, Queen Latifah, says, "In this town murder is a form of entertainment." What Chicago attempts to do by presenting criminal justice, murder, and the law as equivalent in some way to show business is to hold a mirror up to the audience. The connection between crime and show business is the way we watch both for entertainment, the connection between the two worlds is us the audience. This is why we are being performed to, this is why the fourth wall is constantly broken. The film is about us, and we are meant to understand that it is. We are meant to understand that what we are doing is clapping, snapping, and laughing along to a murderer getting off, a warden taking bribes, and a lawyer committing perjury. The inspiration for the original 1920s play was a genuine culture of criminal celebrity in Chicago at the time. Oddly, its highly specific message and satirization have only become more relevant. Consider for example true crime. One of the largest subgenres in contemporary mainstream entertainment. We watch documentaries or retellings of horrific crimes, sometimes against the wishes of victims and families, investigating them for spectacle. Consider the publicization of celebrity trials, the way we all flock to every piece of evidence and public display of the people involved. Most recently we can think of the Heard/Depp case. I'm not going to comment on the actual trial, but it was an odd experience going through Twitter soon after it ended and seeing people lament its end. For some people there seemed to be a disappointment that this spectacle was over, like when a TV show airs its finale and the audience mourns the ending of a piece of entertainment. Except this isn't fiction. The people involved are real people, and the case has real consequences for culture at large. Chicago, after all this time, remains more relevant than ever because it was never about the characters. It was always about the audience. Always about telling us to be honest with ourselves. As much as we posture as moral onlookers seeking justice, Chicago cut through the bullshit and said that we watched for much more shallow and selfish reasons. It gave us exactly what we wanted, then held a mirror to us and asked, "Are you not entertained?"